I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Ciela Cruz joins me. Hi.
Welcome. Hi. Hello. Greetings. It's so lovely to be here.
I'm so glad you are here. I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, my name is Ciela Cruz, but feel free to call me Cece. I am your local spirit guide of the heavens, of the starry heavens above, and I am here to bless your day with some starlight and some fun and joy.
Well, I tell you what, folks, you're watching right now on YouTube. You see the model, and that is a very amazing and unique model that you got
yes.
there. So did you come up with that yourself, or was it somebody?
I actually did.
Ooh,
yes.
cool.
I spent so long coming up with my own original idea for the model.
Yeah.
So I sat down. This was all the way back in November 2024. So it was around mid-November.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to myself, okay, I want to rebrand. If I want to rebrand, what do I want to do? I kept on asking myself, okay, what do I want to do? I need to experiment. I want to come up with something original, something that, well, if it hasn't already been done, then something that is at least not done very often in the VTuber community. You have so many VTubers that are animals, that are demons, that are monsters, that are, you even get slime VTubers here and there.
It's true.
And I wanted to really aim to get something unique. So I sat my little cute butt down, and I spent, I don't know how long, I think it was around 12 hours over the span of 2 weeks.
Wow.
Maybe even more. I spent a lot of time trying to come up with my own design, and my goodness, was it worth it?
Oh,
it
absolutely.
was more than worth it, essentially.
Absolutely. I mean, not only does the model stand out, it's a fabulous job of artwork, and while it's not the normal, it's certainly still welcoming. And I don't know how you did that, because I can't even think that way. But still, it's both intriguing and interesting, and also welcoming at the same time.
I am so honored that you think so.
Yeah, it really is. I'm absolutely floored by this. Have you been approached by other people since you've done this about maybe designing for somebody else?
I've considered designing for other people because I went through a little phase in my life where I designed outfits. I went through a little fashion designer phase, and I just kept on coming with so many ideas. I remember sitting in class, I think I was in year 10, so I must have been around 14, 15. I was doodling in class, and I remember creating this fabulous outfit that was winter themed. I was trying to make a little clothing line that was based on the 4 seasons, so winter, autumn, spring, and summer. And my goodness, I don't know where it is now. It's probably sitting somewhere in my room, collecting dust. But maybe one day I'll return back to it. Maybe one day. I would love to, honestly, because with VTubers and designing models, there is so much creative expression you can get, and I love it so much.
Oh, it's always, and it's still evolving. The amount of, first of all, it's almost unlimited as far as imagination goes, and
exactly.
And the fact that people get a chance to, I don't want to say reinvent themselves as much as present themselves the way they want to be presented.
Exactly.
Certainly,
yes.
you can't always do that at the local grocery store.
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
Imagine dressing up as your own VTuber model and just casually walking into the grocery store. People will be looking at you like, I'm sorry, who are you? What are you doing in that?
calling the local police department. Excuse me, there's...
Oh, God. Cue the sirens.
Yes. There's
dear.
there's a slime person here with a crown.
Now that is a model I do want to see, actually.
Oh,
You can just imagine a cute little slime with a crown on top of the head. I love that idea,
I'm
actually.
sure somebody will do it. And if somebody come up to you and says, "I love your design. Here's my idea," would you do it? Would you want to work on their idea, or would you want to come up with your own idea?
If I were to do it as, let's say, a commission, or even for free, honestly, because I haven't even tried it out, it would definitely be a mixture of me inputting my own ideas and the other person's ideas. So I would try and find a way to balance them out and mix them together. Because obviously, as an artist, so I actually do a little bit of doodling in my spare time. I would definitely try and incorporate both of our ideas, because there are definitely some ideas I would love to share with other people. So I probably haven't mentioned this yet, but I run a little YouTube channel on the side. It's the main channel where I post little doodles every little day. And I've actually been experimenting with some animation too, so trying to learn something new.
Yeah.
Trying to learn something new, you know?
Well, I mean, it's obvious you've got a lot of talents just by watching what you've done, and the fact that you've basically invaded all of media space, and not just that,
yes,
but successfully too. I mean, you've gathered up quite a following, haven't you?
I've developed quite a following, which honestly, I really feel blessed that I've got so many people like slowly starting to build up and check me out. It's really fortunate, I think.
Oh, it's good. Fortunate. There's always a little bit of fortune involved, but there's also talent involved, and the working at it and all of that type of stuff. I get the feeling that you're not somebody who just cruises into these things.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I love that. But yeah, I actually had to learn a lot of things in order to get to where I am today. I had to learn to draw things myself. I animated my own stinger for my streams. Cool. I had to learn how to video edit. Well, as I said earlier, I'm learning how to animate as well. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I had to learn. And honestly, if I didn't learn those things, if I didn't go out of my way, I wouldn't be where I am today. And it also saved me a bit of cash too. Definitely saved me a bit of cash. No. If I didn't draw my own emotes, I would have spent at least an extra, maybe $20, $30 getting a set?
Oh, I think that if for the model that you have now, that would have been a lot more.
Honestly,
yeah,
I may have designed the model. I think that gets mixed up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't draw the model, but I did the concept art for it. So,
well, even so, I mean,
I can bring up the artist now. Actually, to anyone watching, I would highly recommend checking out Nulla's art on VGen. So that's at NULLASART.
Yeah.
Absolutely talented artist.
Yep.
You should check out their models. They are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, but even so, just the concept alone of doing this, of what you've got here, is very unique and amazing in its own right. And I'm no art critic, and I'm certainly no artist, but I know what I like, and this is kind of next level stuff here.
Yeah.
And once you saw what the artist had done for you, and you saw the model, what was your thoughts on it?
My thoughts? My God, I don't even remember. I was that blown away. They took my concept, they took my design, and they turned it into not even just art. It was turned into a beautiful, stunning, fabulous masterpiece. My jaw was floored. I could not pick it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'd like to compare it to, but none of them actually work. It's straight up. There's a combination of a lot of things, but a lot of originality, and It's very, very. I mean, I'm gonna keep gushing about it, but it was very, very, very well done. Um,
Thank you, thank you.
so what got you involved in the first place, the VTubing?
So VTubing altogether started. Oh, I don't even remember how many years ago. It's been quite a while now.
Yeah.
I think it's been around 2 to 3 years. When I started streaming, I was actually inspired by a few people who I joined in a little community. So one day my best friend had introduced me to Twitch because she used to watch chess streams, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided to hop onto Twitch myself, and I was like, "Oh, let's check out this website. It seems pretty cool."
Mhm.
And as I was scrolling through, I was trying to find smaller communities because, gosh, the larger communities, they have 1,000 people in chats or 100 people in chats, maybe more.
Right.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it
It's
can
just
be.
an absolute waterfall of chatters, and I cannot imagine having to deal with that many people in one chat. So that's why I drifted more towards the smaller communities. And I came across one streamer who was playing Valorant,
Mm.
I think. Was it Valorant? I believe so. And that community welcomed me in with open arms, and I never felt more happier. I never felt happier in my life.
Yeah.
It felt so nice to just meet some new friends, get to know some new people, and they were absolutely amazing. They were adorable. I loved spending time with them. And that same group actually encouraged me and inspired me to start streaming myself. They even helped me to gather my own equipment. They gave me tips on what mic I should get, what type of PC I should get, the type of specs I would need. I got so much advice from sorry, I can't talk.
All
I
right.
got so much advice from them that honestly, I'm going to say this over and over again, but I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
Oh,
I
well,
wouldn't be where I am today.
well, that's it's always good to give the credit where the credit is due. But
That is the main thing. I love
Yeah.
giving credit where it's due because these people deserve it. They all work so hard.
yeah, but remember to give the credit to yourself too, 'cause in the end, with it still comes down to the personality and the accessibility and the talent and work ethic of the person who's the centerpiece of it, and obviously you've got that in Aces, so that's I mean it's the proof is in the pudding. It as you look at the if you look at just the numbers, but I mean, did you have that type of a goal when you started, or was it just a let's see how this goes type of thing?
That was exactly the goal that I had. I wanted to start streaming for the fun of it. I wanted to experience what it was like to be a streamer, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There was a small part of me that wanted the fame, but that was out of spite. That was out of spite for a completely different can of worms that I won't open. But
Oh,
the more I streamed, the more I talked to people, and the more life stories that I got to listen to. My God, it
yeah,
opened a whole new world for me.
it's crazy.
And that's when I realized I'm not streaming just for the spite anymore. I'm not streaming because I want the fame. I'm streaming because I'm loving it. I love talking to people. I love playing games and sharing all of this chaos with my friends.
Oh,
and
it's something else,
I
isn't
am
it?
so glad I
It's
never stopped.
it's really tough to describe to
Yeah.
people who don't enjoy the conversation type thing, and there's such a comfort level involved in it that that when after you have a conversation with somebody and you sit back and I didn't even know that person and I talked to them for 2 hours. Yeah, and it was and it's so if you have a curiosity, a natural curiosity, and you hear these stories about everybody, that's one of the reasons why I do these interviews, is there's such a variety of people doing this now. Everybody's story is different,
Mhm.
and everybody's place where they're doing it is different, and the reason they're doing it is different. And I don't know if I've heard anybody say spite was a reason, but whatever jumps
Well,
in the water,
yeah.
that'll go.
That is a whole other can of worms that I will not open.
No, I'm not
I
gonna.
am way past that. Way
No,
past that.
wouldn't dream of asking about that. Not on,
Hmm.
at least not on recording anyway. The I was in the media for a long time, so there's always that
That's
little.
fair. That is completely fair.
There's always something in the back of my head. Get the scoop. Um, so now that you got this going, has it sunk in on you that the number of followers that you have, and have you
Honestly,
looked back like, how did I get this far?
no, I don't think it has.
Yeah.
If it has, then, well, I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. I don't think it has sunken in. I still consider myself a small streamer. I
Mm,
consider myself small because, well, obviously you have all of these bigger YouTubers, you have all of these bigger VTubers, such
mm,
as, I don't know, Iron Mouse, Shotto,
mm-hmm.
you've got Vox Sakuma. I don't know whether he got cancelled or not, but I know him. I know he
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many other bigger VTubers out there. So I definitely still consider myself small.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't to obviously put down the fact that I definitely have come a lot further than some of my other peers,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously that came along with a lot of hard work, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of late nights.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely for sure. I've definitely had a lot of late nights working on projects here and there,
Yeah.
but yeah, I honestly can say that it hasn't sunken in.
Yeah.
It hasn't sunken in yet.
Well, I hope that fascination stays with you, because it's great to see when somebody, it's any type of performance, and this is a performance field. To see somebody who has done something and they don't even realize what they've done until like, look,
Oh yeah.
and they look back, I do that. That's something, that's really something to see. Have you ever thought about doing some voice acting, or have you done it?
I've been asked this question so many times. I have so many different people asking me, "Oh, have you ever voice acted before?" Or "You should totally get into voice acting."
Hmm.
I've considered it, and I have set up an account on, what's it called? I think it's Casting Call Club,
Mm-hmm.
Casting Club. I think it's called
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines. I have set up an account there, but I remember looking on there and trying to see, oh, do I want to audition for any projects? People tend to have some kind of demo reel, and I definitely need some guidance in setting that kind of thing up. So,
Yeah.
to any listeners, please offer the best advice you can.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
I am taking any advice, as much advice as I can look for.
well, I can tell you just from years I was in radio that your voice is very. You've got a great instrument there to use,
Oh, thank you,
and
thank you.
it's. I don't know about if you do other different voices, but you don't have to. That's the thing.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, your presentation right now, just by talking with me, is very welcoming. There's not a whole lot of sharp edges on your voice, which makes
Mhm.
a big difference. And that you couple that with the work that you've done, putting the model and everything together. You really set yourself up for some success, whether you knew it or not.
Honestly, I would probably give some credit to the fact that I have performed before. I
Mm-hmm.
would consider myself a performer.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was when I was a kid, I used to actually perform in front of audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had little concerts at school that we would hold, and I would always maybe go up and play piano for a bit, or I would sing, or maybe play violin as part of my school's orchestra.
Whoa.
And throughout the years, I've been known as the kid in school who either sings or dances or whatever.
Wow.
So
Well, you got me beat in
yeah,
all of that. See, I
Hey,
haven't
it's
hit.
never too late to learn.
No,
Never too late.
no. I've already been banned in several countries. Um,
Oh dear.
yeah. Well, I try to tell the truth. I haven't hit a note on purpose since 1983. So there you go.
Oh my.
Every once in a while, I'll hit a knee on something, and then I'll hit a note, but it won't be it won't be in a good one. But it just
Oh.
to have that type of ability and the want to get up on stage and the want to present and entertain people. Um, is that something that you've been able to cultivate? That want to be wanting to entertain people thing, is that something that you've always been able to keep up with?
Certainly, yes. I can say that with 100% confidence. Put me on a stage. I always say this to people when I meet them for the first time. When you meet me as a normal person, I am a massive, massive introvert. You come up to me in the street and I will look at you as if I don't know who you are. But put me up on a stage and I will transform into an idol. I will transform into your local K-pop idol.
I imagine chasing you down the street.
It's so much
Hello,
fun.
hello, hello. Just trying to say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's so it's once you kind of get that ability to shift into a little bit of a character, does that help?
I'd say it definitely does help.
Mm.
When I was a kid, I used to daydream of being able to perform up on a stage in front of millions of people, and I still dream about it to this day. I still have those dreams, but you know, a lot of idols, a lot of pop stars start young, so sometimes I fear that I may have reached a point where if I started now, I wouldn't be able to get to where, let's say, anyone like Taylor Swift is today.
Yeah, yeah. Well, gosh, again, I must be ancient. Actually, I am ancient. And
Oh gosh.
here's someone like you talking about. I'm too old to do this stuff. And my hips started hurting.
Oh gosh.
Now
I
but
can only imagine.
but really, you find out these types of things only if you try them. If you're willing to put yourself out to do it. And
That is also true.
has it ever been? Have you ever had to uh can put yourself out for something like, why am I doing this? Or, has there ever been a regret or a concern going in front of a stage in front of people or anything like that, or was it easy for you to do?
When it comes to streaming, I think it really depends on, let's say, if I'm having a collaboration with someone, I think it really depends on how many people I'm with.
Mm.
As a solo, I'm fine. With two, maybe three people, I'm fine. The most I can deal with is five people, probably, in one collab.
Oh yeah.
But, oh gosh, boy, do I have a horror story for you.
No.
There was a point where, because I rebranded and I went under a different name before,
Hmm.
so while I was under that different name, I was invited to a collab, and it was my first ever collab with as many people as 10 to 15.
Whoa.
So imagine 10 to 15 people in one call.
Yeah.
It is a recipe for chaos.
Oh.
But my God. So during the collab, we went around introducing ourselves, and I was around the middle of the list.
Hmm.
So while everyone was introducing themselves, I was starting to panic, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, but I was starting to panic because I was thinking in my head, oh, what if I mess up? Or what if I stumble on my words? What if I look like a fool? So what I did was, before it came up to my turn, I briefly wrote down a little introduction myself. So I would be like, hi, my name is blah, 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 and I do this. I'm this type of VTuber. So
Yeah.
it reached my turn, and I read out the little speech I prepared, and there was a moment of silence. There was dead silence after I
Oh.
read out my introduction, and I could just feel the judgment radiating
Oh.
off from the other guests to my side of the screen.
Oh,
Oh my, it
no.
was a nightmare. It It was an absolute nightmare. My social battery drained so bad after that.
Oh, that's when the microphone. You have mic problems. Up,
Oh
can't
god.
continue. Bye. Oh my
Oh
gosh. So
god.
what
Mm.
set that off? Was it just did it just happen organically there, or did you make a typo or something in your intro?
I honestly don't know. I just read it out, being my normal bubbly self, and I got that as a response. I was honestly very traumatized from it.
Oh, I bet. So how'd you get back in the saddle with it? And you didn't go out with 15 other people again right away.
Oh, definitely no. I
Uh,
am never doing that ever again. I
yeah,
can say that for sure.
I mean
What I did was I just spent the next week or so just well, I'm an ambivert, but I lean mostly towards the introvert side, so
mhm.
I spent a lot of time recharging my social batteries, and my god, I needed it. I really needed it after that.
I bet. Wow.
Oh,
That would be
yeah.
that would be so horrifying. I think
I
that's the best.
know.
I think
It
that's the
was
only word I can come up with is horrifying at that point. And
yeah.
yeah, but well, what about collaborations now? Do you find them easy to put together or easy to find people to collaborate with?
In terms of finding people to collaborate with, that is very simple.
Mm,
That is easy as pie. I can definitely say that.
mm,
But in terms of setting up the collab, so setting up what we're doing, setting up the date and time, that is way more difficult
mm,
because I have a very limited schedule
yeah.
and I know that I my time zone, I don't really share my time zone with a lot of people. I'm currently in British summertime
Yep.
and most of the people I know are all the way in the States.
Right.
So when I'm
Yeah.
sleeping, they're still awake.
Yep.
When I'm awake, they're most likely still asleep. So it's you need to find some sort of balance.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough to be in the central time zone of the U.S. So when I talk to folks in Europe and in Great Britain and that such, I usually schedule around noon my time, which would be in the
Hmm.
evening for you, or for folks in the Pacific, I schedule around midnight my time, which I'm still up for very easily, and they're
Whoa,
about 15 hours ahead, so it's afternoon for them too.
that works actually.
Yeah,
That's actually a really good way of going about it.
yeah. Well, I'm all for the shortcuts. But- and it,
Oh, nothing wrong with a shortcut here
yeah,
and there.
I don't move as fast as I used to, and I didn't move very fast then. So it it's
Oh,
efficiency. Is it? Speaking of that, since you got started,
mhm.
and it's been a little while now, have you been able to find some shortcuts of your own in just trying something and seeing if it works? Um, as far as putting stuff on as a VTuber.
In terms of shortcuts, I
Mm,
can't really think of any that
mm,
I ever really used.
mm,
Most of the things that I do, I put my 100% effort into, no matter how much work it takes, no
yeah.
matter how much time it takes, no matter how much work it takes. I can always set something aside, move things around, move things to a different day, a different week, a different time, a different month, even.
Mm.
But as far as I can remember, I don't think I've ever taken any shortcuts.
Mm. Well, I suggest them later in life. You get there faster.
Honestly.
But
Yeah.
so how much of a learning curve was it for you when you did get started with the uh, um, first model and first persona that you used? Um,
It was a massive learning curve. I can
mm,
definitely say that for sure.
mm,
I was a noob at using OBS. OBS is the streaming software that I use. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know how to set it up. I couldn't even find the go live button. I couldn't even find that. But as I said before, the group that I initially joined when I first started streaming, they were kind enough to guide me with my first steps
mm,
as to how I should start streaming. how I should set things up, what I should do before stream, what I should do after stream. They gave so much advice, lots of tips and tricks.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was fortunate enough to find a group that had a lot of knowledge about it.
And wanted to share it. Some people
Yes, that too.
Yeah, some people. There's an old saying. Let's see if I get it. See if I can mess up the old saying here. Do not ask the successful for advice. They do not wish company. Something along those
I've
lines.
never heard that before.
Yeah,
I've actually never heard that before.
yeah, it's really cynical. You know?
Yeah, it is actually. It gives the incentive, or that's not really the right word.
Yeah.
It connotes the fact that successful people want non-successful people to stay where they are, and
some cases
it really shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own different journeys to content creation. Everyone has their own hardships and obstacles that they need to overcome. So essentially, we should be supporting each other, you know?
Well, really, in this stage of VTubing right now, because there's some people who are saying, "Oh, it's faded out." I don't think that at all. I think that's changing. But I hope that VTubers realize that your potential audience is so massive and hasn't even been touched, really.
Yeah.
You talk about, millions of people. Your potential audience is basically 95% of the world.
Yeah, basically 95% of the world. There are 8 billion in the world.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? 95% of that is your potential audience. Your audience is waiting there for you to make your moment.
Absolutely. And if you don't find something on one of the streaming services that you won't at least sit in the background while you do something else and have play, you're not looking. Or you're really very boring, which is I've met some people like that too, but but really, there's something out there. Whether it's someone doing a karaoke stream, or someone playing a game, or someone's just a talking session, cooking. I mean, there's so much stuff to watch. You've got to find something that will entertain you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and the fact that we get to hear from, I mean, let's face it. When I started in radio in the '80s. And 1980s, not 1880s. We didn't have radio back then. I'm old, but I ain't that old. We didn't have the opportunity to hear the talent that was, sitting in a small village in another country that we didn't get to hear. Now,
there's so many underrated voices out there.
Oh, tremendous voices! Singers and voice actors are getting a chance to do a lot of stuff at home, not having to fly to California or whatever to do this stuff. Singing. You mentioned you did some singing. Are you going to do some singing now? Some covers, maybe?
I definitely want to do more covers in the future. 100%.
Yeah.
I am definitely practicing my rapping skills too. That is something on the list. But the thing is, with making covers, I'm not that experienced at doing any vocal mixing or making a music video. So if I were to make a cover, I'd probably have to commission someone for that, which is... I've checked the prices; they're pretty pricey.
Yeah. But there are plenty of folks who would do it. I mean, that's you do have a choice, and and you always have to pay the dial spinners.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely.
They make you sound much better no matter what. And I've heard some incredible mixing done by some folks that are basically only doing it for VTubers.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a chance for people to express their talents, and we get a chance. Those of us who aren't completely untalented, such as moi, we get a chance to soak in and enjoy those talents from around the planet.
I wouldn't say no. You do have the talent. I definitely say you have the talent.
Yeah, I mean,
you have the talent to connect with so many people and talk to them and interview them. Interviewing people alone takes effort.
Well,
and it takes talent.
You gotta have that curiosity, and you gotta have the enjoyment of talking with people, and even people
100%
you
agree.
don't even know, and everybody's got their own way of doing it. I'm a very I would rather just sit here off the cuff and hold the microphone myself and not write down questions, and I haven't done it yet. And just go from there, go with the flow. Other people got other ways of
Yeah.
doing it, and it works for them, but not for me, not for me. But for you, have you seen other artists, other artists, I mean VTubers, and I mean, have you gone like on scouting missions and said, boy, how do they do this, and try to incorporate it into your own things?
That's interesting, actually. I know I probably should do that,
Mm,
but I haven't actually gone on any quote unquote scouting missions.
mm,
In a way, I sort of have gone scouting, but it was for a completely different thing.
mm.
I actually used to host little interview days myself.
Oh,
So I used to be on Twitter. I'm not on there anymore because, my God, Twitter is just in shambles. It's a whole wasteland, I'm telling you.
yeah, it really is.
I'm more on YouTube, TikTok,
Yeah.
and Instagram. But I used to be on Twitter, and I would always post these little announcements where I would go, "Hey guys, I'm hosting a little VTuber interview day. Please DM me if you would like to join." And then I would reach out to people, set them up for a time slot in the day, and then I would interview them live. So instead
Oh,
of the interviews being pre-recorded, they
yeah,
would be live.
yeah, yeah. That's a big difference. Um,
Massive difference, yeah.
and I don't usually do a whole lot of editing to the interviews, and I hope folks realize that it's usually pretty much
Mhm.
as we go, unless I really screw up, in which case there's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
editing. But the we're doing it on recording like we're doing now, and doing it live. Um, it's a little bit easier, I think, to let it flow if you're doing it recording, because you can always
Mhm.
you have a safety net. When you're live, you don't have that safety net. Um,
That's exactly what one of my mentors said to me. I used to have a mentor who
mm,
also used to work in radio, and he said exactly that.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly word for word, those words.
He probably lived on peanuts for a while too, if they were in radio.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe, maybe.
yeah. We're known for our mooch ability to live on pretty much. We can get hired for a cheese sandwich, and it doesn't even have to be a whole one.
Ooh.
But I think that's true. And you, as a live streamer, you don't
Mhm.
have that that net under you as you go live. Um,
Oh, yeah.
what people hear is what they get. Do-
That's basically it. Yeah.
so, do you feel that you've had to develop um, an adroit way of handling the conversations with, say, chat or other streamers when you're on a collaboration? You have to be able to jump from one topic to another, know when something's not working, and switch things. Um, is that tough for you sometimes?
It was definitely tough for me, especially for the interviewees
Mm.
who didn't really talk as much as I did.
Oh
There
yeah.
are some people, there were some guests who loved talking, and I had such amazing conversations with them.
Mm.
But then there were others who I really had to just get the ball rolling, and the ball just wouldn't roll. The ball wouldn't roll, and I just had to keep on prompting them. And oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the amount of social battery that drained out from me,
Oh.
I can only.
Oh. I.
I'm honestly feeling drained just from remembering it.
I do that to people. I drain them pretty quickly. I live off their life essence for the most part. The
Oh, I can feel my life essence being taken
yes,
away.
yes. But
Just kidding,
I
just
had, I
kidding.
mean, I had some times doing radio, especially at sports broadcasts, and where I'd interview young people, and they would give me one word answers.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I had 20 minutes to fill.
Oh, oh, that is painful. Oh,
I,
that
re-
is painful.
yeah, there was one young athlete who was playing a video game in the background while I was trying to
Mhm.
interview them live. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
I can
And
only imagine how that went.
yeah, well, they were still very important for the program, and while they didn't have like a big pro career, they did well at the university, and and it was very important to get them on
Uh,
because I was beating everybody else to the punch. So at that point, you just keep rowing.
yeah, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yes, and it just
Oh,
and but
well.
it seems like to me you've got this natural ability to bring people along with you. Um, and that's a big thing to keep the audience involved. Um, as showing that you enjoy things, the audience will enjoy things with you.
Oh, definitely. That is a massive part of how a streamer presents themselves
Yeah,
online.
yeah,
Massive, massive part.
yeah. And I'm sure you've seen streams where that's not the case for some folks. And
I've seen a few here and there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty painful to watch. Um,
Yep.
but I mean, it sure does happen for folks. It's just you just have those days. But have you been able to develop a community that kind of is a bit empathetic towards you when you come on? It kind of knows when it's not the best day for you.
Definitely.
Mm.
Definitely. 100%. I definitely have such an amazing community. To anyone listening right now who is from my community, please don't forget that I love and appreciate you so much, and I wouldn't be where I am today without you here. I love my community so much. They're so chaotic. They may bully me all the time. They may bully me with love, but I still love them to bits. They
Mm.
are all so amazing. They're all so supportive, and I love being able to interact with them
Yeah.
every single time. I
Well,
will
you know,
not stop loving that.
yeah, and I tell this to everybody. They're there for you. The reason why they're there is because they enjoy being with you. How does that hit you when you realize
Honestly, that's starting to hit now.
that?
That's just starting to hit now. I've never really thought about it.
Yeah, yeah. I've scared you completely off. My job is done. No, but they
You've
come.
done what you've been paid to do.
That's right. I've caused trouble,
Uh,
but they're coming back for the personality and the person behind it, um, and with that, they're smart enough to realize that the work you're putting into it and the real joy that you're obviously getting out of this is something that they'll pick up on very quickly. Um,
oh yeah.
and there's somebody out there on the other side of the planet standing upside down from you who is waiting for you to come on again.
Just imagining that in my head is quite funny, actually.
And I've completely thrown you off, haven't I?
Yes, you have. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining at all.
Yeah. Well, I think that's I hope that continues because it's very obvious to me that this is a great fit for you, and I want to see what more you bring to it because I get an idea that you've got some. I get a feeling that you've got some ideas in the back of your head that are sitting there and stewing, waiting to be put on the front pot. That we're gonna see some really interesting stuff from you in the future.
Oh, trust me, you've read my mind. I actually, just a little teaser, I have a new Minecraft series that is planned. I'm currently waiting on my custom skin.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Minecraft skins to be delivered to me
Yeah.
because I commissioned one
Oh,
about a few days ago. Yes,
Yeah.
it was a few days ago.
cool.
I'm waiting for that to come back, and once I get that back, then I'll be able to start recording the series.
Mm.
So my plan for it is I'm going to be starting something called a forever world. So a forever world on Minecraft is basically a world that you will, well, essentially it's in the name, you will keep returning to that world forever.
Mhm.
And it's a common concept that's been appearing on YouTube for the next couple of months. I saw it and I said to myself, oh, I want to start one. It will be so cute. It will be so amazing. I can build and express my creativity on there.
Yeah.
And while I'm building and having fun on my world, I will just be talking to my audience in the background. I'll be talking to them about my life.
Right.
I'll be talking to them about plans for the future, stories from the past. I'll be talking about almost pretty much anything. So that's the plan for now.
It's so refreshing to talk to somebody who is enjoying themselves as much as you obviously are. And
I am more than enjoying myself. I
And-
love doing what I do.
yeah, and I really do appreciate you coming on, because I know with that you're busy and your schedule's all over the place.
It is.
But
Yes.
taking the time to talk to me, I absolutely appreciate it 100%. And please keep in touch and let's do this again, because
I would love to.
I got a
Honestly,
feeling
I would love to come back on here to give you a few little updates.
I got a feeling that in a few months that there's going to be a lot more stuff to talk about too.
100%.
Yes.
Well, fingers crossed, actually.
Cece, I've got all the links I could find in the description for this video. Folks, you got to check out what Cece's got going on. You're going to be entertained. You're going to enjoy the personality. You're going to enjoy being a part of the community, as so many people have now since and check out that model, for crying out loud. Jiminy Christmas. That's amazing stuff. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to have me here. Well, to be able to talk to you.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.